The Democrats have a plan to gain 2 more U.S. senators. Let me read you in on the plan. Democrats have been pushing a plan to make Washington, D.C. a state under the guise of voting rights. But I'm about to tell you why this is really about politics. A political plan by the Democrats to almost ensure a permanent Democrat majority in the U.S. Senate. Here's what's really going on. In order to ensure that no state had an undue influence over the federal government, the framers created a federal district, an area that was 10 by 10 miles long for the federal government to operate in. The Residence Act of 1790 required that the capital's territory would be located along the Potomac River within an area that Maryland and Virginia would cede to the federal government. Well, after a while, they realized that they didn't need all of this area for the federal government. So in 1847, the federal government gave back a huge chunk of that land, what is now Alexandria and Arlington, Virginia. If you land at Washington's Reagan National Airport, that's what I'm talking about. By the way, this is why D.C. is no longer a perfect 10 by 10 mile square. Now, Democrats want to make D.C. a state under the guise of giving the remaining residents a right to vote. That sounds great. I mean, who's against giving a fellow American the basic right to vote? The problem is there is a very easy solution, what there is a precedent for. Remember, in 1847, they gave back to Virginia the part that was not being used. So why not do the same with the parts from Maryland that they took? All they would need to do is carve out the National Mall, the Capitol, the Supreme Court, and the White House. Maybe even go down to the Lincoln Monument. Guess what? No one lives there. You can easily carve out every voter and give them back to the existing state that they were taken from. There's no issue with that. The Democrats know this, and they don't want to do it because they know if they can make D.C. a state, it would guarantee them 2 additional U.S. senators. Just look at how D.C. has voted for the last several decades. Republicans don't have a shot. Democrats get 90+% of the vote. Considering how close the balance of power is in the Senate, I mean, think about just right now, 1 vote would make a difference. Don't be fooled. Voting rights has nothing to do with this. It's easy to fix that problem. I just explained how. This is all about politics, plain and simple. And if Republicans don't get ahead of this problem, they will lose the battle. And unfortunately, any hopes of a U.S. Senate majority anytime soon. Well, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to make sure that you never miss another video.